But right now we have a really special treat, Tori, right? What's going to happen now?
So basically, you guys know Hank Cisco. If you don't, then he does Hank Cisco Show every week, sometimes twice a week, sometimes once a week. It really kind of depends. And normally he interviews people from the community. But the tables have turned.
So we had the idea that today Hank's guest is a little bit late today, and so we had planned to do this after Hank's show. We're going to do it here before. What we've decided to do is we're going to take some time and we're going to interview Hank and find out about him. So Hank has been working with NASDtv. I guess it's 27 years now, something like that, maybe even longer. He's the number changes; it goes all over the place. But he started by interviewing Japanese police chief, I guess it was here, and that moment spurred him to move to TV. And I guess it's been 15 years now that I've been working with Hank, sort of as his producer, and we've been moving him into the show each week. He does now 2 episodes a week. We shoot it twice. It's wonderful for our class because it gives them the opportunity to practice what we're doing right now, like live interview-based television in a studio. And Hank brings amazing guests from the community, and in many cases, those are things people really need to know, so it helps us be a better service to the community. So now you're going to get to go listen to the amazing Hank Cisco. I don't know if he's completely clear that we're interviewing him, but I'm speaking at a high voice because Hank does have a hearing aid, so I have to be really loud so he can hear me. Hank is going to now be interviewed by Cameron Duncan. We're going to find out a whole lot about him. We're going to spend some time discovering what's going on in his life and how he's doing. And hopefully when that's finished, his guests will have arrived and we can go into a regular Hank Cisco show. So anything else you'd like to add, Tori?
I'm super excited to learn more about Hank. So let's go check out some information about him.
Hi, I'm Cameron Duncan, and I'm here with the famous Hank Cisco. So, Hank, how are you doing today?
Okay, so far.
That's wonderful. So, first of all, for all the viewers that don't know, I don't know how they don't know, because you're quite famous around here.
Oh.
But what do you do here at Norristown?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing?
I'm retired.
What do you do here at the high school?
I think I'm busier now than when I was a police officer, when I was a county detective. I don't know. I did a lot of things in my life. I'm 93 years old, and I, was born in Brooklyn, and my family, I have 4 boys, 4 girls, and my mother and father, and my mother had 8 children.
Wow.
All home delivery, no hospital. They go right on. In Brooklyn, in Lafayette Street, on Chestnut Street, on Green Street. So the whole thing, and everybody was healthy,
That's so good.
And I've been doing this show here now for next September will be 29 years.
Wow, that's a long time. So how did the Hank Cisco Show get started? How did you get out in TV?
I was a county detective at the time, and I'm a member of the International Police Association, and there was a visiting Japanese police officer, a high-ranking Japanese police officer from Japan, was in the United States touring different cities, Philadelphia, and getting ideas on their police department. So they called me and said, show this guy around. So, okay, so I got him, and so first thing, he was Japanese, and I said, do you like spaghetti? He said, yeah, so I took him to an Italian restaurant. That's the best thing, and meatballs on the side. And so then it was November, what is it, when they bombed the United States.
Oh, I could not.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah. So it was Pearl Harbor Day. So I called the newspaper and I said, hey, I got a Japanese police officer. It's Harbor. When they bombed it. He says, oh, we'll make a story. So then I called up the guy in charge here before John was Tony Coya.
Okay.
I said, I'm going to bring him up. He says, yeah, he says, bring him up and you can interview him. I said, okay. So I bring him up. There was nobody to interview him. So I interviewed him. So that started my interview. but I got no training whatsoever. I just, ask questions and.
That's
and,
impressive. What was that interview like? How was it interviewing him?
I still have it. In fact, some of one good thing about my show, it's on YouTube now, it goes worldwide.
Wow, that's
I
crazy.
interviewed last week a lady from India. She's an artist, and she's very knowledgeable about words of wisdom,
Yes, I met her. She was
Right.
very nice.
And so I told her it's going to be, her mother and father are still in India. So she just emailed me today, and she says, my mother and father watched the show, and they're crying when they saw the show. So I have somebody in India crying. Is that right, Rock? Okay. So that's how it's all started, and it's a happy time.
So it
Right.
sounds like Hank Cisco has changed a lot over the years.
Yes. You know what? You know what's the biggest change? When I went to school in Norristown, the teachers, their dresses were down to their ankles, and the girls, now I come in here, I see all these girls with Bermuda shorts and shorts. Where am I? I'm in Florida, so,
Yeah.
along the beach. So it's nice. So it's a different kind of dress code. I went to Catholic school, public school, so there are other dress codes. But it's nice. Dress the way you want to dress,
So
As
how
long as it's nice.
nice.
Be nice.
Of course. So how do you think your show has changed over the years? Of course, with
Oh,
technology
It
advancing.
has not changed. I'd say if it's any change, move forward.
Oh, that's
with
good.
John Doyle, who is very talented. Norristown, this whole area should be proud that we have a teacher who is so concerned and so talented. And he's helped me. He lets me go. He turns the cameras on and I'm on. But he has always coming up with creating things, helping with fundraisers. Like this Saturday, I'll be out at the walk in the park, and that will be for cancer. If you want to talk about cancer, I can talk about that too. I had that. I have prostate cancer, colon cancer. I have cataract eyes, 2 hip replacements.
But you're healthy now?
Yeah, and I'm a former professional boxer. I
Wow,
boxed,
you've done a lot of things.
I boxed in New York, and I
Wow.
refereed professional fights.
So you were also a police officer, you said?
I was a police officer in Norristown for 27 years.
So
and
tell
then
us
academy
about that.
detective. And now I am the ambassador of Norristown, whatever that means. It means one thing for everybody. In case all you students, they're going to driving cars. Okay, if you get any parking tickets, mention my name, pay the fine. Okay, no problem.
There we
That's
go. Now we have
That's a
an
joke.
inside connection, right?
Huh?
We have an inside connection with
Yeah.
you.
All right, what else? How about you?
I'm here to interview you. You're the guest of honor today. It's
guest
all
of
about
honor.
you, Hank.
Well, how come they picked you?
I wanted to do it. I wanted to know more about you and more about your wife. How's your wife?
Well, my wife passed away last October. We were married for 60 years.
That's a long time.
Very happy.
I've never known anyone married that long.
She
That's so impressive.
What's that?
I've never known anyone married that long.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't know. 60 years. We married, and I never got her involved in like when I was boxing or a police officer, or when I would come home with tension. One time I had to make an arrest, and what happened? This guy got cut or something, and I come home and I was all full of blood.
Oh my goodness.
And I come walking in the house, and she looked at me. She fainted almost.
I'm sure that was
But,
probably scary
But she
for
stood
her.
by me all the time, and so I just think that she's upstairs, gotten everything ready for me when I'm
Of course.
ready to roll.
So how did the two of you meet?
I took a test for a police officer in Norristown at City Hall, and after the test, I was nervous, and the only six guys took the test,
Okay.
and 5 of us were hired.
Oh.
Now, for a police job, for one job, you get a couple hundred people,
Wow. Yes.
So what happened, and there was a lot of tension taking a test,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, so I walked down the hill, and down in the corner of Arch and Erie is called the Italian Club. It was
Okay.
a musical bar, and I want to get a little drink. So I got a little bit of beer,
Oh.
and I'm sipping, and there was 2 girls sitting across the bar, and I'm looking over there, And I was always bashful. Like me, I'm talking here, but I was always bashful in Catholic
Okay.
school. I was afraid, you know. But I'm looking, I said, oh my God. And the music was playing. It's a musical bar, it was round. I said, I'd like to go over and ask her for a dance. So I didn't. In the meantime, I find out later, she told her girlfriend, boy, I wish that guy would come over and ask me for a dance. That never happened. So I left there, and I went to in Norristown, the movie theater. On top of the movie theater was the Democratic Club, and the bar was open till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
So I went there, and I had a couple wines, and who comes walking in? The 2 girls.
Ooh.
And after 2 wines, I didn't care. I had the guts now. I went over, can I dance for you? Yes. And we danced. We did a jitterbug. And finally, we got married, happily married all the time. You know,
Wonderful.
She would never get mad. The only one she get mad at was me. Nobody else.
And you had kids?
Yes, and I have 3 daughters and a son. And
How are they? Tell us about them.
well, Mary, she's like a little fighter, you know, being a former professional fighter. She's the one that fights. Then Carol, she takes care of all my medicines and things.
That's nice.
Joanne, she takes care of all my bills and everything. So I, you know, kind of take it easy.
What
And
about
they
your-
all have a job, they work.
What about
you know.
your son?
And he's down in Peru. He's-
Wow. What is he
he's a
doing down there?
missionary.
Oh, he's a
Talking about a
missionary.
missionary, I just bumped into a husband and wife just contacted me, and the husband is from Africa. He lives. He's a native of Africa, and he has and he's here in the United States. And the town he is in Africa is very primitive, and they don't have an ambulance. They're 8 miles away from the hospital, so they want to get ambulance. They want to get some stretchers. They want to get some. So they contacted me. I says, look, I will not solicit money. If you need wheelchairs and stuff like that, we'll see if we can get them. So I'm meeting tonight, 6:30 at the Greco-Roman with the husband, wife, and then there's a nurse who is going to donate her time and go to Africa for dermatologists, whatever it is, you know. So I'm going to meet them and see if I can help them. They're paying for rent for the store, these wheelchairs and accessories, and also delivery. I says, I see if I can get somebody at the truck. So I think, you know, I'm all doing this here, all for Dolores.
Aw,
See,
that's
and
nice.
and Dolores used to be a singer. She used to sing in nightclubs, you know. So after I married her, I says, any singing you're going to do, you sing to me. He said that. But we enjoyed it. We sing together. We used to dance together, you know. And I think it's good that husband and wife should sing and dance together. In fact, talking about singing, when I was a police officer in Norristown, I used to safety, and I had charge of the safety patrols. And then we'd get all the kids. I would swear all the kids in, and we'd swear all the kids in. In the meantime, we'd sing a song, a safety song, right?
Ooh, that's
We'd get
fancy.
everybody together. Never cross when the light is red. The light is red. The light is red. Never cross when the light is red, my fair children. And then I would say, now get all the kids go like it's there, and I'd say, oh, and there's a halo come up from heaven, right? Never, always do what teacher says, teacher says. So we have it in now. I walk down the street now or stop in the restaurant, lady, oh, Sergeant Cisco, I remember you used to come to song, and right away I say, never cross it, and we would have something together, you know. But that's it's a whole different ball game, and you know, I don't say I'm going to plug the Norristown High School and school. There's no graffiti, and I traveled quite a bit around this country when I was with county detective. I see no graffiti, and I can say that's like pinning a medal on the students of Norristown. So,
Well, thank you.
What else?
Well, you seem to be very involved in Norristown. So, what's your favorite part of Norristown?
Restaurants, more restaurants, and you know when we have schools that moved out, churches moved out, even the jail moved out. When I first started in 1951 with the Norristown Police, we had bowling alleys, we had 4 or 5 movie theaters, we had just about everything. We're the county seat, but little by little it's peeling away, and we have to start bringing it back together.
Okay.
We are a county seat. and we should be able to do. Now, you take Conshohocken was nothing. People used to come to Norristown to shop. Westchester, Phoenixville, Ambler. You go there at night, there's the restaurants, there's nightclubs, everything else, you know. So it's going to take a little time for Norristown to come back.
So we need more social life activities.
Well, yes, we had a YMCA, we had more churches, the churches moved out. We had more bar rooms in 1951 than we had churches. Now we have more churches than we have bar. So, you know, it's just a matter of people taking an interest in Norristown. I think it's good. I like Norristown because it has a diversity. It has every nationality, religion, everything.
Yeah.
But not everybody's like blonde hair and blue eyes. Everything. We're all different.
Yes,
I got brown eyes. I'm Italian. See? My eyes.
Yeah, of course.
And my lips are Italian. They're for kissing and for singing, right? Okay. Now, what else?
So back to the Hank Cisco Show. What's your favorite guest that you've ever had?
I think my favorite guest would be when I told the doctor the doctor told me that I had a heart blockage, 95% blockage, and I had to do an emergency operation to break it. So at Einstein Hospital, and I'm in the stretcher like that, and they're wheeling me into the operating room, and I looked up and I says, "Who's going to operate on me?" And this one doctor looked at me and says, my name. I said, "What's your name?" He says, "Dr. Anderson." I says, "Will you televise the thing? Will you film it and I'll put it on the Hank Cisco Show?" He says, "Good." So if you go to YouTube, you look Hank Cisco, Dr. Anderson, you'll see the operation, a heart operation. And another thing, most of the people who are getting open heart operation, they get cut over here, and it would be what they call the zipper club. So after I'm in the recovery room, I'm down here, I'm looking to see, and I didn't have any stitches. And over here, just a little bit of an incision. And I'm saying how much advancement the medical profession, you know. And when I interview some of the surgeons, I said, "What's new?" He says, "The newest thing in operations as far as our procedure is how to get into the human body without cutting you open. And now it's very simple. They go through the wrist, they go through over here, and this, like I said, over here." So I'm still here. You know, it's still about most likely I'll get hit with a trolley car.
I hope not.
I don't know. Good Lord, when he wants me, when the bell rings, I'll go. All right.
So what's your favorite part of interviewing people?
Well, I like to get something just like you're doing with me. Find out something about. I interviewed this one lady, and I said, "Well, tell me something about your family." She says, "I don't want to talk about. I'm in the middle of a divorce." And I said, "Okay, then we won't talk about it." You know. So then this one guy came out. He says, "I am a bodybuilder." Him and his wife, and they won a national contest with bodybuilding. You know, like this, and her, and she was like a bodybuilder too. She had a little bit of a strip, a little bit of covering here, a little bit of covering there, and then she was going. So next thing you know, we're taking, and she had a robe. So when she took the robe off, and all the students in the back there say, "What's going on?" So later, I got a call from John Doyle and says, "Hank, if I should run that show, I'll get you out of a job." So that is one show that I did. But you know, you figure I've been doing this for 28 years, and people that I have, some come and sing. I have singers, I have dancers, you know, and I think it's somebody learns something. Learning something. I'm learning every day that I ask a question because I want to learn. I'm never too old to learn. And that's why students in high school, while you're here, get the education. Don't fool around, because after you leave here, you know, you're going to be busy getting married and having kids and all, and you can't get the education. So now, get that education while you're here. Don't go, you know, it reminds me of going into a grocery store. Going into a grocery store, and there's all the food. Get your push cart, fill it up. Don't go pushing around and fingers empty. You get the cash out, there's nothing in there. So here you're in here from June to September, September to June, whatever, and you push the cart into school, you come here, and when it's time to bail out, you got nothing in the basket, nothing up here.
So you have to fill the card up, right?
What else? Are you a senior or what?
I'm only a junior.
A junior?
Yes.
What's that mean?
So I have one more year left.
Yeah. You like it here?
Yeah.
I'm interviewing you.
We'll get back. So how do you stay connected with the community and all your guests? How do you stay connected with the community and all the guests on your show?
I think I have I don't know, when I see people, I smile, say hello. The guy looked at me, and I remember one guy, he said, hello, and the guy says, what do you say hello to me for? I don't know you. He says, well, my name is Hank Cisco. So, okay. So, next day, we went, hello. He says, I don't know you. I met you yesterday. See, so a little smile, I have something to say, whether I go in the doctor's office, like this morning, I had to get my eyes checked. And they put them drops in my eyes to check them, and then everybody's sitting here and they're sitting there waiting to be, hello, how you doing? Okay, boom. Now as I'm leaving the office, okay, everybody, okay, yeah, pep it up a little bit, right?
Yeah,
We don't want to be sad. There's enough sadness in the world.
So how about your guests? After you're done interviewing them, do you stay in contact with them?
Well, sometimes I do. Oh, yes, same thing with.
Do you still talk to the bodybuilders?
Yeah. Now they tamed this. I'm anxious to meet this man from Africa that lived there and lived in a very primitive town, and we already have maybe a couple hundred wheelchairs and stuff to donate.
Wow, that's a lot.
And then we have to get somebody to help pay for the transportation to get it down there and all. So that's another story. But it all works out,
Are you going to bring him in to be a guest on the show?
Well, I am. I'm on the 31st. I have the wife, the husband, and this surgeon from Egypt, lady surgeon. There's a lot of lady surgeons. We got lady surgeons, lady bus drivers, lady policemen, lady FBI. They got everything. There's so many opportunities for women. And you don't have to be beautiful. And you don't have to be fancy. You just have it up here. That's what people, they want you with a brain.
Yep, it's all about
the beauty runs off, right?
Yep.
I don't know. All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
So back to your experience being a cop. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, I love being a police officer because I feel that I was the first one at the scene. And when you're in the first one at the scene, you want to protect the evidence, And I when there was a husband and wife fight, when there was a juvenile that ran away from home and had to bring him back, and the father would say, I don't want him back. And the mother says, all right, so they're arguing back and forth. So I had no training other than the training I got from my own family. 3 brothers, 4 sisters. We learned how to straighten things out, with arguments, So the policemen now are more trained for women, the husband and wife. The wife comes in 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in a police station with a swollen eye. I want to have my husband arrested. Okay, we arrest him, bring him, lock him up. Next morning, I don't want to put it in, let him go, So this were things that they get to that bad. Get some help. Get some friends. And sometimes your relations are better psychiatrists and help you with family problems than going to a professional. Sometimes you need a professional, but stay close to people that are knowledgeable, that are helpful, and that want to help you. So, life is a big ride,
So,
So go ahead. What else?
Why did you want to be a police officer? What made you
I don't
choose
know.
that
I
career?
think that my mother always told me, and I live with all these little things that do good and forget, and do bad and regret. And I enjoyed helping somebody. When I I was at Norristown Police, and we had bicycle inspection. All the kids had to get their bicycle inspected, and then had to pay 50 cents for a license, you know. And then we had charge of the crossing. They had the kids crossing guards, so they cross the street, they're helping out. So I was always, my mother always, like, we were driving in the car, and there was an accident or something. My mother would, first things, she start praying. She start blessing herself and praying, not even knowing who them people are. And then we'd be in the house, and an ambulance go by. And the ambulance with a siren, and she would say prayers. She didn't know who they are, but she's saying prayers for them, you know. So, you know, it's a matter of, if you want to stay in the cocoon like this, live a life like that, go ahead. Yeah, some squirrel will come and say hello to you, you know.
So has being a police officer impacted how you run the Hank Cisco Show?
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, but, you know, sometimes, I hate to say it, but some of these police officers today say, oh, Hank, them days are gone. They ain't gone. You're a police officer, and you're there to help people. You know, that's what a police officer is, you know, but right now, there's a lot of things going on that I don't like. You know, I never know where police were getting shot. Never heard of it. Now they're being shot for no reason at all, because maybe people around have a mental problem, so you have to be able to know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. So are there any influential moments in your life that maybe shaped your career or your morals that you would want to talk about to let the viewers know?
Oh, I don't know. I met a lot of miserable people. I mean, 14-carat miserable people. But I don't let them get the best of me, you know? And I don't think anybody's the same thing. I'm a former professional boxer. I trained to fight. When that bell ring, I would go out there and look for something. And I did not just try to win the fight just by winning. I'd outsmart the guy. I'd make him miss, make him move. And that's, it's more to it, the fighting. So life is a battle. It's a time to move, it's a time to step to the side. And I always say, keep bobbing and weaving and keep your trunks off the canvas. But boxing will teach something. When that bell rings, you got to think for yourself. It isn't like baseball or football. You got 14 guys where they're telling the guy what to do. Yeah, boop, boop, boop. When that bell rings, you got to do your own thinking. And you make a mistake, you get instant punishment. Right?
Right.
So you want to be a boxer?
I'm not much of a fighter these days, but did you have any funny moments in any of your careers, whether it be here at the Hank Cisco Show with a funny guest, or in your days as an investigator or police officer?
Well, I've had a lot of, I think one time when I was just don't forget, when I started in 1951, I received no training. Police officers get no training. I went to City Hall. I was with 4 other police officers. They give me a gun, they give me a badge, they give me a whistle, and give me a nightstick and put me out in the street. No training. Now a police officer gets all kind of training. So thank God that before I became a policeman, I used to go hunting, so I knew something about shooting a gun. But I know the other 4 guys, they didn't know how to they didn't know how to load it. They didn't open it. There was a revolver, you know. So education today is one of the most important things. I think the police officer, it's education, training, and experience. The 3 of them together. One without the other, you're just sitting on a couple cylinders, right?
Okay, so I think we have time for one more question. And we just want to know how Mr. John Doyle has really influenced your life and the progression of the Hank Cisco Show. So why is John Doyle important to you?
Well, he's got, I know his mother was in
Miss
show
Fran.
business. I know his aunts, they're all in education.
Rory, yeah.
And John is a very outstanding person, like I said before. He's very talented, and I think the community should be aware if we have somebody with that kind of talent to be able to do things in the town. I know as far as the entertainment, I know he's looking out for a school for kids for art, whether it's painting, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, and that's what it's all about. You know what I said? Do good, forget, do bad, regret.
Regret.
Right.
Okay.
And I think that, I've talked to different people that went to Norristown High School. So, oh yeah, he says, I know John Doyle, he was my favorite teacher, you know. Well, that's nice. Then I hear people say, oh, Hank Cisco, I remember, he was a policeman, he helped me. And then one come on, you know, Cisco, if it wasn't for you, my son would be in jail. He was afraid of you. Every time I say, Cisco, and I didn't do it by fear, I did it by friendship, you know. And I hope that the good Lord lets me stick around a little bit, and then I'll go up and be with my wife.
Well, I'm so glad I had the chance to talk to you today before, you know, you did your own show and interviewed someone else. So I think that's all the time we have, and we'll be back to Hank in a little bit when he has his own interview. So I'm Cameron Duncan, and I was talking with Hank Cisco.
Ow, ow.